What's up, y'all? Can everyone hear me all right? Sorry about the delay there. Yo, what's up, Armstees, Ruby Reed, Nuno, aka Fade, Trader XO, what's up, homie? Crypto Grandpa, what's up, dude? Wasik, good to see you again. 2 seconds, Semi4, Filippo. Alright, volume okay, everyone can see me, everyone can hear me alright. I was just having a little bit of technical difficulties here. I also apologize for the slightly grayish background on the chart. I just you look at screens for long enough, your fucking eyes just get fucked. And I've been on screen a lot these last couple of days, obviously. So just wanted to give the old eyes a little bit of a break. Yeah, I do have the fucking yellow tint glasses. I just forgot them at my office. So I don't have them here at my home office right now. Because we're on COVID lockdown. I guess I could go there tomorrow or something. But how's everyone doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone is making some money on this crazy fucking run. Things have just been absolutely mental since even just doing the last stream on the 15th of November. We were way down here, right? So another $3,000 higher on Bitcoin, hundreds of dollars higher on Ethereum. But we've been looking for longs. We've been looking for continuation. So I'm pretty happy how my trading's been lately, and then just kind of my plan in terms of just kind of how I'm gonna approaching all-time high, and what kind of my expectations are, shit like that. So. Okay, we've got a good amount of people here, so I'll just get to going. So welcome back to another stream, Ethereum and Chill with Trader Main, sponsored by Prime XBT. Thank you so much for them for letting me do these things. It's awesome. Make sure to show them some love. Use the link in the description. You get a 50% deposit bonus. There's no better time to be fucking actively trading in the markets than there is right now. Volatility is absolutely insane. So definitely check them out. Obviously, nothing in this video constitutes financial advice. So I am just a robot bird now with a face, but a stranger on the internet. Always do your own research. So with that being said, let's just get into it. We've had a crazy week. I uploaded 2 additional videos this week just to kind of mitigate some of this craziness. Let's just kind of talk about it in the charts. So the first thing I want to talk about is kind of just like a very high level kind of point, because I think we're entering a stage, and we're in a stage in the market right now where we've been going so vertical for so long. Euphoria is definitely starting to creep in, some disbelief, whatever. I'm not thinking that we're starting a bear market or anything like that. Like, I am uber bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you've been watching my streams or following me on Twitter, that's been the case for a long time. It's more so the point where people are starting to see some serious gains. A lot of like older altcoins that haven't pumped in forever, XRP, LTC, my boy EOS finally let me get out above water. Just a bunch of shit is pumping like crazy. VeChain, whatever. You've gotta learn to temper your expectations in these moments and take profits as well. So let's say that FBTC is bottomed, right? And we're gonna go up now. It doesn't mean that you have to buy right now and just hold it forever. I mean, if you're not trying to time the market, great. Buy and hold and do whatever you gotta do. You'll probably outperform a lot of people doing that, or just using some sort of simple moving average script. But for those of us that are actively trading, trying to kind of maximize our portfolio during, runs and dips, this type of price action, this type of sentiment online from my friends and family, highly public, figures in the space, the Rand Newers, the Ari Pauls, and obviously the just chart itself is like, this is when I start taking some profits. If you're up majorly on your portfolio this month, none of that means anything if you don't take any profit, right? It's all unrealized, and you can give that back. So, you know, if we're going to correct here to 16, 17K, 14K, who fucking knows, and you've taken no profit along the way, right? Who cares that we went to 18K? If you bought at 15K and held it all the way back down to 15K, it means nothing to you, right? But if you're able to buy at 15, sell some at 16, 17, 18, rebuy at, you know, 16 or whatever, you actually made money. So the problem I see with most people, because I get DMs all the time, hey, is now a good time to buy, right? This is from friends and family. This is also from people on Twitter. Is now a good time to buy? Should I get in now? And it's like, if I'm looking at this chart, right, a good time to buy was any time in the last 8 months until very recently, where we're just going straight the fuck up, right? So to me, you've got to have a plan. And I think that's the biggest problem people have, is they don't have a plan. So I've been preaching about this for almost a month now, basically saying, hey, like once we start hitting like 15, 16K, you know, here, and we start just getting really vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green weekly candles in a row, now I'm starting to think, okay, I want to start scaling out of some spot. I want to start taking profit on any leverage positions I have, and have just cash ready for the dip. A dip may not come. We might go to 25K and then dip to 20, right? I don't know. But to me, the risk of more potential upside, maybe another $1,000 to $2,000 versus a potential correction of, you know, $4,000 to $6,000, there's a risk I'm willing to take in there. And you've got to have a plan. So where are you taking profits? Where is your hedge wrong, right? And where are you looking to add back? And B, treat your hedge as a trade, because it is, right? When you're selling Bitcoin for Tether, let's say, it's not just like, okay, well, I'm just going to hold Tether and rebuy 12K. What if we pump to 25K, right? What are you doing, right? You've got to have an area in mind where it's like, okay, I'm hedging here, but if we get to this price point, this is my stop. This is where I buy back in. I was obviously wrong. So I've been tweeting out about this quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. Some tweets go very viral, some not so much. But the message has been the same. Have a plan. I'm starting to hedge up here. I can be absolutely wrong. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And obviously, if I'm right, expect a retweet. Yeah, so have a plan. Enjoy it. These types of runs don't happen all the time in crypto. Usually these types of runs are followed by periods of a downtrend or consolidation, right? So enjoy the volatility while you can. Soak it up. I hope everyone's making money. Hope everyone's having fun. But just remember, this has happened before. And, you know, be prepared for what might come after. If you're just a holder, whatever, you're a maxi, you don't give a fuck, great. Bitcoin is mooning. Absolutely, that's awesome. But I'm just of the mindset where I think there's enough pieces of confluence for me where I'm thinking, okay, I'm willing to hedge some of my bets here and, you know, sell some of my spot that I've accumulated, you know, thousands of dollars ago, and potentially rebuy it cheaper if I can. So right now I'm about 75% in Tether, 25% in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and about 75% in Tether. That's of my kind of active trading stack and portfolio that I have on various exchanges and some tethers. Or some ledgers, excuse me. I do have a ledger that I consider cold storage, freezing cold storage, that is in a safety deposit box. I'm not touching that. That is the Bitcoins on that ledger are worth 100K each. That's it. They're either zero, they're worthless, or they're going to be sold for like 100K one day. Who knows? Hopefully soon, but maybe not. But in terms of my active trading portfolio that I'm trying to actively manage, I'm about 75% in Tether right now. So do with that information what you will. I might have to rebuy back higher and take a little bit of a loss. I'm prepared to do that. No mustache, no bull run. I know, dude, I was trying to fucking trim the stash and I got a little too much of it and I had to just shave the entire thing, unfortunately. It'll grow back. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum. And we can talk about some other altcoins as well that have been going kind of ham. And then, yeah, we'll call it a day. Anything you guys want me to chart, I'll chart. Just throw it in the chat. So let's start looking here. So this is kind of my plan on Bitcoin right now. This move's getting crazy. This level here is of interest to me as a potential, kind of next stop for Bitcoin. If we continue higher, I wouldn't be surprised if we come and tag this level here, right, which is just kind of the weekly open and weekly close. Weekly close here, weekly open here of the kind of two candles that formed at all-time high. And then this is obviously your all-time high. So I am prepared to sell more spot up here. And I'm also prepared that it might go even higher and I might be underwater for a little bit. I am very confident that we see some sort of large correction. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident because anytime we've had some sort of extended move, you get a pullback. It's just the way price moves. This is true in all markets, right? And maybe that pullback is shallow, right? Like this is an extended up move, right? And then we had a little bit of a pullback and then we consolidated. That might happen here, right? We might do this and then just go like this and then continue. I'm prepared, right, for that too. And this is more of a kind of long-term, kind of spot position trade. So I'm prepared to be underwater for a potentially significant amount of time. It could be days, it could be weeks. Whereas, when I'm trading on, leverage and in the short term, I am, I don't really want to be in drawdown very long, right? This, I could be, effectively down in BTC for some time. But I just think we're getting to a point where a pullback is coming. Could we print another green weekly candle? Yes. But I think, very much like here, and I'm going to go here for even more price history. Okay. This to me is super bullish, right? When we have a dump, a huge correction, shake a bunch of people out, and then within days, weeks, we've completely retraced the entire move, right? Completely retraced. So I'm thinking we're somewhere like this right now. So the previous all-time high, okay, before the 20K all-time high is here, okay? So keep that in mind. So look at what happened here. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but this is something I have my eye on here, right? As we ran up completely vertical basically into all-time high, just made it through all-time high, big correction, and then the move is basically engulfed within a month or two, right? A month or two after this huge drop, we're back where we were and beyond. Similar idea here, right? Quite vertical price action, big correction, okay? Again, even this, look, like this might be all we get, right? And it doesn't look like much here, but this is, a 15% dump. What about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green dailies in a row. Big correction there. So, I also think what and again, I don't think people, let's look here. See if we can find a period of interest here. Here you go. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green weeklies in a row. Big old correction. 30, 40%, completely engulfed within 2 weeks, right? So that's kind of what I'm banking on. Again, I could be wrong. I could be a fucking idiot. A lot of things could be true at the same time. But this is just kind of my plan. I have a plan. I know what I'm going to do when price does certain things, and that allows me to sleep really good. Not that I've been sleeping good because I've been up trying to take advantage of this volatility, but it makes for a lot less stress. When you don't have a plan, did I lose all my fucking levels, didn't I? There we go. When you don't have a plan, you're going to feel uneasy. You're going to have a difficult time looking away from the screen. You're going to be constantly worried. When you have a plan, everything is better. Trust me. So make a plan, follow the plan. You'll worry way less, and you'll probably make more money than trying to just, react live to the market. Trust me. Trust me on that. Less emotion involved. When you plan it out in advance, if this, then that, way less emotion, you're going to make way better decisions as opposed to emotionally reacting. So that's kind of my plan for now on Bitcoin. I'm thinking we're going to see some sort of sharp correction between kind of here and just beyond all-time high. Maybe we make a marginally higher all-time high or come just below all-time high, and then see some sort of large correction. Areas of interest for me for buying the dip is going to be this area here, top of this candle, down to the bottom of this candle here. So kind of in this range, that would line up with the 50% retrace of the move, right? Into this potential, SR flip, I guess you could call it. The deep pullback, where I have kind of my stink bids, for whatever you want to call them, would be kind of anywhere below this 50% pullback, right? So into that kind of 6.2 to 7.9 kind of OTE sweet spot region, this untested demand that started this entire move, that would be kind of, I would love to get some buys here. I've talked about this previously. If we come anywhere near here, I'm going to buy, and I'll likely front run this area as well. Not saying it's going to happen. That's just what I'm looking for, okay? So that's kind of the plan. Again, I could be wrong, but just seeing how everyone is now super hyped about alts, albeit understandably so, this is awesome. Litecoin looks awesome. FBTC looks awesome. It doesn't mean we can't have a little shakeout before continuation. And I think if Bitcoin does one of these, a lot of alts get fucking smoked. A lot of people get fucked. I think a lot of the people that are piling on long now are doing so on derivatives exchanges. The OI on Bybit, things like that is increasing. And then those people need to get shaken out, right? All of the people who longed here, right, they got smoked, right? But we haven't really had a big shakeout, since here. Hasn't really been a huge shakeout. I mean, I guess you could call this a shakeout, but it never took out any significant lows. So just my thoughts. Again, I could absolutely be wrong, but the more I post about this stuff, the more type of comments I get, like, there's not enough volume on the exchanges to dump it that far. There's institutional buying. They're not going to let it dump. There will be no dumps. That kind of shit is just another piece of confluence to me where it's like, I like my chances here. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But, I've got a plan, so I'm not really too stressed. When is the real dump coming? Or are all the big hungry institutions going to keep gobbling it up? I don't think institutions care as much about price as you. I think they buy it where they want to buy it, and I think they're okay buying it here. I think they're okay buying it lower as well, because if it's going to go way higher, it's going to go way fucking higher. So I don't think they're as concerned about, a couple $1,000 moves, in terms of the long-term uptrend that we're entering here, in my opinion. Again, another thing I don't think people are ready for, right, is a 30% dump, right? This doesn't seem like a big deal. It's a 40% dump, but it's like, it went from 5K to 3K, right? And when we had that huge dump here from 10K, to 3K, right? A 40% dump from up here is going to be like two big-ass $2,000 red candles. It's going to look scary as fuck. So I don't think... it matters. I think institutions, if they're here, they've been here, they're going to keep buying, and they have no problem sending price down and then, buying it back and moving it back up, right? I ape shorted the bottom. Well, I don't know. I mean, we're at 8,100. What do you short? What percentage of your spot position do you have in fiat now? About 75%. Suicide bag, sure. Selling BTC to cash is not underwater, bro. Cash is safe enough. You're not ape shorting or anything. I'm starting to build some leverage short exposure here, but nothing crazy huge. You compared this to years where there's no institution buy. That makes no sense. Perfect. Thank you for proving my point. FUSDT, please. I will go over F. Still for life. Oh, bro, I gotta quit this thing. It's my girlfriend's fault. I didn't even smoke cigarettes, but I think her living with me during quarantine and then not smoking weed. I just missed smoking something. I just made it like a dick sucking motion. I'm sorry. Hey, Maine, can you look at waves? I'm short, but it ain't dumping with BTC yet. I'll take a look, sure. A lot of institutional money is buying from miners, OTC, not to spike the price. Do you think it makes sense for holders to get in some fiat to get more BTC exposure if the dip comes? Okay, so I mean, great question. So I mean, obviously, I can't tell you what to do, right? But if a dip comes, you want to have some bullets left in the chamber, right? You don't want to have your entire load blown. It depends. How nimble are you? How concerned are you with timing the market? You know, the chances of you selling the exact top and buying the exact bottom are very low. So are you okay selling and it might go up higher? And then if it does dump, you don't buy the exact bottom, right? Then yeah, you just want to catch the meat of the move. You know, I think it's positive EV to be cautious up here. Yeah, I mean, you want to have money to buy the dip, but if you're just a holder and you think Bitcoin's going to 100K, let's say you have one Bitcoin, just for simple math, selling it here and rebuying it at 12K, you've made $6,000, right? Which would be an extra half a Bitcoin at those prices. Could turn out to a lot of money in the future, right? But again, you've got to kind of do those calculations based on your risk appetite, your ability, you know, your ability mentally to potentially fuck it up. So those are all questions I can't really answer for you, unfortunately. FUSD, can you do long-term analysis? Yes, I will. Push the like button. Fucking Vladislav's got it right. Do please push the like button. Opinion on the gaps below. That one around 4K. Rip. Monero. Sup main. Love the content. Thanks. I don't think we're going to 4K. I'd be amazed if we saw sub 10K again. I'd be amazed. But I don't think we're seeing 4K. I'm more interested in, like, I'm layering bids, right? And what gets filled, and then I buy on the way out. If it comes down like this and starts correcting super hard, I'm buying back, right? So that's kind of the plan on Bitcoin. So similarly, Ethereum, I have a plan, right? So I talked about this in my last stream, and I talked about this for ages with Ethereum. We've been bullish on Ethereum since like 380. If you remember, we posted a bunch of long setups in this area on Ethereum when we were consolidating here. So my thoughts on Ethereum were very simple. I said, if we get through this gray, we're going to here. And as you can see, we came right into that level, right? And that level is derived from right here, the bottom of that order block, okay? So I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I think this looks good. I think FBTC looks good as well. So I'm looking for a potential pullback on Ethereum into here, or a deeper pullback would be all the way down here. I don't know if we get lucky and we get this deep, right? We could potentially, but this is an area I'm watching on Ethereum right here, down to here. The ultimate buy the dip, like if Bitcoin goes to 12.5, I'm not saying it will, but let's say Bitcoin goes to 12.5, okay? I'm gonna have bids here, like 290 to 310. I know that seems crazy. That's like a 50% drop. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, but if it gets there, I'm buying there 100%. I think it's more likely that we see some sort of SR flip like this, or maybe a little bit of a deeper pullback, you know, maybe into this area here, right? Something like that. But I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I think we're going to see $800 Ethereum soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see, you know, some sort of deep dip first. And again, right, to go back to this real quick, I posted about this. This is only 1 month. 40% drop, fully retraced back to the point of the start of the drop in a month. So we could see a big dump here on Bitcoin, you know, down at 14K, whatever, fully retrace it and be back near all-time high before the end of the year. I'm not expecting this to be like some long-ass downtrend. I'm more expecting quick correction, you know, a couple back-to-back scary-looking candles, and then, you know, completely engulfed and continuation going into Q1 of 2021. I'm bullish going into Q1 2021. But those are the areas of interest for me on Ethereum. I think we got some decent resistance here. Just like Bitcoin can go higher, I think Ethereum can go higher as well. So if Bitcoin's going to push to 19.3 to maybe even just past all-time high, the next level of interest for me on Ethereum is about 620. Okay, so if we get one more push up there to 620, and then again, maybe some sort of pullback, and then continuation. I think laddering, yeah, Monero I can cover. I think laddering, buying in the next retrace is a lot better than just buying all at once. I agree. I got short 18.5. Where should I look to take profit, in your opinion? Thanks, homie. I mean, that depends, bro. Is this a trade, or is this just a little scalp, right? Like, if you're just like, hey, I'm in and out for a quick trade, I would watch this low right here. Okay, so if we sweep this low, okay, and what you'll see here as well, I posted this on Twitter. That's a bearish order block right there. And this is a perfect OTE rejection right here. So you can see we came right into the 0.79, right into that bearish order block, sold off, right? So if you sold here, that's a textbook kind of ICT, trader main type of short. So if you're short 18.5, I don't know. Are you looking to buy back way lower, or is this just a trade? If this is just a little trade, this is the low I'm watching, right? If you're just like, hey, I want to get in and out of a trade here, you're wrong up here, obviously. If we come down below this low and close below, I think we go further down into here. If we come down below this low and reclaim this low, right? So it's just a wick, like an SFP kind of deal, I would cut the short there. And that's right around 17.7. That's what I would do. And hey, that little idea I posted on TradingView as well, right? Worked out pretty nice. I said, hey, I think we see something like this, right? I had this marked out even earlier in the week. Once we failed to close multiple H4s above here, I'm like, that's a sign of weakness, right? I said, I think we come retest here, right? And then what I wanted to see was this level then become support. Not really happening right now. So what you got to be concerned about if you're a bull, right, is something like this, right? That's exactly the reason I gave you to get out of your trade. If we close below here, that's a break in market structure. If we SFP this low, I actually think we'll shoot back up. Do I use VPVR relative to order blocks? How strong the level might be compared to another block? No, I do not use VPVR. I know some people that do, and it usually seems to line up pretty well with the order blocks or the SR levels that I find. It's not something I do personally. To me, an order block's good if it's near a key level. If it causes a break in market structure, those are going to be kind of the things I'm looking for, right? So when I'm looking for a bearish order block here, why do I like this bearish order block? It was near a key level, and it broke market structure, here, took out a low. So this is a high probability sell into an order block that I think is going to be relevant. But I bet you, I don't know, we could turn on, VPVR, right? Is that what it is? Visible range. I know there's two of them, right? And look at that. So I think I can edit this to have more rows, right? Let's do 50. Right, so look at the little value point there. I think I can also have it do a point of control. Okay, that's not what I want. Maybe that is what I want, but there you go. So you got a nice little order block there. Lines up well with a little, kind of surge in the volume, and then a run below this low, right? Could also line up with, a little bit of a pocket here, and then again, right? Something like this, right? I think would be quite bullish actually. But yeah, this is not something I use. Do you have a prediction for this week? I think I just gave it to you. How can be deep when PayPal and strategy buy more in one day than miners can do in 1 month? Down is just crazy. Think what you fucking want, bro. I honestly, the fact that you're so sure we can't go down is the type of sentiment that makes me think we can go down. Could I be wrong? Yes. So do with that information what you will. If you think this is so bullish because PayPal, MasterStrategy, and Grayscale keep buying more, then don't fucking sell. Don't tell me what to fucking do. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Actually, keep telling me because I like gathering the sentiment. But like, if that's your thoughts, great. There's plenty of reasons to be bullish. I don't think thinking that we correct is bearish, right? I'm not shorting Bitcoin at 8K. I just think that I might be able to buy a little bit cheaper, and I'm up 200-300% on some of my spot buys, so I want to take some profit and realize that profit and potentially buy even more Bitcoin. So I'm bullish too, bro. But don't just be so fucking in your head being like, well, it can't happen, right? As soon as you start saying things like, we'll never dip, we'll never pull back, we can't, as soon as you have these absolutes in your head, that's usually when you get fucking smoked and the market teaches you a lesson. Could I be wrong? If we're at 25K this week, feel free to comment on my post. Ha ha ha, man, I told you so. And I'll respond and be like, damn, bro, you fucking got me. And I'll go on living my life and never think about you again. So don't worry about it, man. Relax. What percentage of your 75% do you ladder in balanced on what bid levels? Gosh, I'll probably start going in lighter here, right? And then as soon as we start getting into that 50% retracement area, which is right around here, I'll start going real heavy. As soon as we start getting around 15K, I'll probably start going heavy. So into here, I'll probably go heavy, and then I'll have some stink bids down here for the remainder. And then I'll be ready to rebuy, right? If we do one of these, right? And then I never get filled here, and then we reclaim like this, I'll just buy back. And then I'm gone, right? Because I'm selling up here, right? So worst case scenario, I could just buy on a reclaim of the high, right? Have a plan. Okay. So 486 bid super light so that you can buy it at 3062. Similar idea on Ethereum here, right? Similar idea on Ethereum. Looking at the high time frame, take your fib from the entire run here. Right? That deep pullback area is here, right? So my heaviest bids are going to start around, I'll start here, then my heaviest bids will be in here, okay? And then absolute stinker bids down here, okay? And again, we come down, we reclaim this level, I just buy back. In terms of risk management, right? Like, I don't think Bitcoin is going to zero. So if I'm buying Ethereum at $306 after this, I don't plan on ever really selling that until it's much higher, or until I'm fucking destitute, right? And it goes to zero. So I if it comes here to this area, I do not think it stays here very long. I don't think we come back to these lows here. You know, could we come as low as the 220 area? Fuck, maybe. Again, like if we come here, right? This would be nuts. Right? Some sort of fat pullback all the way down to here, right? I don't think it's likely. Is it possible? Sure. I don't think it's very likely though. But if we do, you know, I'm buying this with a stop of 0. Just like when I bought here and I bought Bitcoin during COVID. When I bought Bitcoin during COVID, the stop was 0. I'm buying it like 3, 4, 5, 6K. The stop was 0 because it's either moon or bust at that point for me. Michiana, more than 50% of Bitcoins were mined in the first 5 years. Huge amounts of BK can easily manipulate price. Sure. Yeah, I agree. Can you please cover Bitcoin dominance and how you use it if it's add confluence to your alt trades? Sure. I'll cover that in a second. I want to go over FBTC next, and then I'll do that. Where do you go to check futures funding level? Few people in CT mentioned that time a lot. Just type in crypto derivatives funding. And you'll see Crypto Squeeze just posted a chart with it. I can post a website that I use after the stream if you like there, Johnny Mac. And you can see they kind of aggregate it all for you. BitMEX, Bybit, FTX, all that shit. They don't want currency, whatever that means. MicroStrat, that is. 108010, it sounds like. Thanks. Appreciate you live roasting 18.5K, 0.15 funding permables. Thank you. You're welcome, Chase. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen this type of sentiment, this type of price action before. It usually ends badly for people who are getting FOMO after a 300% move up in 8 months. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. Funding is leaning towards more people are getting in on derivatives. Those people usually get rinsed before the move continues. Okay. You need a nutsack of steel to buy down this low. But like this, right? This is pure just nuts, right? This isn't TA or anything. I know some people had TA for this shit. I did not. This is just like, this is fucking cheap. I still think Bitcoin goes back to 20K. I'm buying. Same thing here, right? If ETH comes down here for some reason, this is not like, oh, TA, order block, blah, blah, blah. This is a monster retrace after a big rip, and I still think ETH goes to all-time high. So I'm just buying, right? Buy at 300, stop of zero, $300 risk per ETH for a potential upside of 1,400 or whatever all-time high was. That's a risk reward I'm willing to take. Right? $3,000, buy Bitcoin at 4,000, stop at zero, $4,000 risk per Bitcoin, non-leveraged obviously, with a potential of all-time high being a 5x, right? I'm taking that. Okay, so let's talk about FBTC. So this one I'm really proud of. And I've left that, I posted that chart on Twitter, where I basically, in my very first Ethereum and chill stream, we were trading up here. And it doesn't look like much, right? It looks like shit. I basically have like a shitty line like this, and we're trading up here, and I'm basically like, I think we do this. Up into here. That was it. And it didn't look like much because it's on the monthly. So it looks like, oh, you barely called anything. But if you zoom in, we actually have dropped huge from up here, and we're getting a very nice bounce. We're breaking market structure here to the upside. So I was very proud with that call, albeit not saying it's a call as in I traded it like that. It's more so just saying I didn't think FBTC was going up from here. I said I think we're going to see a pullback back to this kind of 0.25 to 0.27 range. So what I've learned in a long time of trading FBTC is there's no reason to not be bullish. There's no reason to be a bearish, on ETH once we get above this area, and there's no reason not to be bullish once we kind of get to this area, because you can see if I pull this here, right, this has been a key area, right? Every time we've come here, we've gotten a reaction. Then once we traded below, it looks like shit, rejects. Once we got above, traded up, back down. So this is not an area I was interested in shorting in. So it looks good, right? Like this is a nice bounce. But again, a lot of altcoins, what I'm seeing across the board is that they're all pumping right into resistance. And I'm not saying that they're going to all fully retrace these pumps, right? But these are all pumping into high time frame resistance. And they've done this before, right? How many times have people called for alt season, right? I'm not saying that this isn't it. My whole premise on ETH was this. Right? That's my entire premise. So I do think this is good, right? But a lot can happen. This one, weekly candle does not completely change everything. Again, if Bitcoin nukes, what if we see something like this, right? And then we see another move, right? So, or maybe this continues to go up. But I think this is kind of a good proxy for the alt market kind of as a whole. Is just watching this chart, right? So if Bitcoin does correct hard, how does this pair hold up? Because if this pair holds up pretty strong, it doesn't lose. I ideally do not want to see us lose this low, right? And if it doesn't lose this low, I think that's really bullish for the alt market as a whole. If this gets completely smoked, and Bitcoin corrects hard, most alts are going to get smoked, USD and BTC value. So just something to be aware of. We are coming into resistance. I do think this is promising. But again, let me know when we reclaim that level. Then we'll start getting even more excited. You got to see what happens with Bitcoin. I still think if Bitcoin dumps hard, most stuff gets smoked. My kind of high time frame plan is if Bitcoin corrects 20, 30, 40%, I want to be buying Bitcoin. I want to be buying Ethereum. I want to be buying, the altcoins that I like on that. That's the blood that I want to buy. Not quite yet. I don't want to chase these pumps. I've ridden some of these pumps, but yeah, I don't want to chase these pumps quite yet. I want to see what Bitcoin does first. And then, if there's blood, I want to buy that blood. And then, maybe we'll have alt season. I don't know. Or they'll start trending together. I don't know. But, this looks good for now, right? This is a level of interest for me on Ethereum. I want to see us obviously reclaim this level. This area got, this order block here got tested right here. Boom. So I think if we flip this level, we go much higher. I think if we reject here, right, I want to see us hold this low, ideally for continuation to the upside. But this is promising. This has kind of been my plan since I started these streams, right? A low, high, higher low, higher high. I want to see the next higher low form here. And as you can see here, this higher low, right, had a double bottom in it. It doesn't mean that we can't do this, right, and then still go up, right? This is the 3-day chart. On the monthly chart, right, it's just a low, a high, right, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, right? On the weekly chart, you get the double bottom, I guess, but it doesn't mean we can't, you know, come back and get a little lower here and then continue. But for now, I think this looks good. I'm really happy with how this looks. Bitcoin dominance, again, so this is something that you want to pay attention to, right? What is happening to altcoins generally when this is super strong? Altcoins are getting wrecked. You know, what is happening to Bitcoin when this thing is dropping, right? So let's look at the last few weeks where we've had this trending up, right? We've seen a lot of alts run. Well, this is trending up, and this might be turning around now, which could signify some strength for alts, right? So I don't use like just straight up TA on this, you know, kind of like some people do. But if this chart is bearish, right, that could be bullish for alts. When this chart is super bullish, usually Bitcoin is smoking alts. And there's an altcoin dominance chart that you can look at as well. I don't think you necessarily need to look at this chart. You can if you want. I think this is a more important chart just kind of for the proxy of the alt market as a whole, right? Because I had someone ask me, they're like, well, why would you chart this versus the USD pair, right? So this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. If this is in a downtrend and you're holding Ethereum, you'd be better off holding Bitcoin. And if this is in an uptrend, right, and it's going up, you're better off holding Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. So you don't really need to, if you're trading the USD pair for USD, sure. But this is, the BTC pairs for alts are important, right? Because that's basically going to tell you when it makes more sense to hold that altcoin, or if you would have just been better off just holding your Bitcoin, right? Because if you're trading your Bitcoin for an altcoin, which most of you are, you need to know, right? And for the most part, it's been better to hold Bitcoin over Ethereum for a long ass fucking time here, as you can see by this chart trending down. But there are periods where Ethereum outperforms, right, versus Bitcoin outperforming. And this is no different than in my metals with mainstream when I go over the gold silver ratio, right? There's going to be periods of time where gold would have been the better hold versus silver, and vice versa. XLM algo, please. Thanks, man. Okay, let's look at all these things people want me to chart here. But yeah, this is all overall bullish for me, right? And I'm looking literally towards here, right? Like once this locks in a higher low, I'm literally thinking here. So I'm bullish. Monero. Okay, let's do Monero. Yikes. It's not a good looking chart. So this is critical here. So actually one other thing, okay, before I get into that. There is no coincidence, okay, that we have seen a huge run in Bitcoin since the dollar has been shitting the bed, okay? there's a very strong, and I always say it's not one-to-one inverse correlation, but there's a very strong correlation between the dollar and Bitcoin, because the dollar is the denominator of that Bitcoin USD pair, right? So there's no coincidence that when the dollar's been super fucking weak, that Bitcoin has been super fucking strong, okay? This is the COVID bottom on Bitcoin. Look at what the Bitcoin has done, right? Versus the dollar. Bitcoin's like this, the dollar's like that. The correlation's super strong right now, and the dollar is on dire support here. If it loses this area, it's trading down here. And I know that doesn't look like a huge difference. Be aware this is the weekly chart, and this is also a currency pair. So a drop of 3% on the dollar is huge. And if we see a drop below here, Bitcoin is going to go bonkers to the upside. Alternatively, we're on support. If we can get a bounce on the dollar here, that would line up with a pullback on Bitcoin. But I ultimately think the dollar will trade to here, which is super bullish for Bitcoin. I'm just banking on maybe potentially seeing this first. And a good way to look at this right here is like this. And we go compare, and we go Dixie. Why is it not? Am I fucked? Why is this not look like I want it to look? I want this to be scaled better. Like, why is it so fucking low here? Can anyone help me here with this? In terms of the scale? Sorry guys, I wanna show you. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. In terms of this is just not what I'm trying to illustrate. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ah, it's so bright. Okay, so this is on the weekly time frame. This is on the weekly time frame. There we go. Use the log chart. My man. All right. Log. Compare. Dixie. It's still not. Oh, wait. It's still not doing what I want it to do. Why is it not showing up here though? Am I fucking retarded? I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make you guys deal with this. Add symbol. Oh, okay. Where is add symbol? Learning something new every day. Compare or add symbol. So I want to see Dixie. I'm still fucking retarded, guys. Okay, but what if I want to add it? I don't want to compare it. I don't know. I don't know how to figure. I know you guys are telling me what to do here, but I don't see the add symbol button. Compare the dollar. Okay. this is too much. I'm just gonna go back to this example here. Okay. So look at the timing of this shit. Okay. For the run here. Okay. So as you can see right here, March 9th is this top here and this bottom here. Parabolic downtrend, parabolic uptrend, right? Type Dixie in the search bar. Dixie. Plus Bitcoin. I'm so fucking retarded with trading view, guys. DXY. No. No. 1 divided by power of. I don't know. You guys get the point, okay? I wanted to show it on a chart. Someone can DM me and explain me how to do this, not like a fucking retard. That would be awesome. But you guys get the point, right? So when the dollar bottomed out here, we saw, obviously, Bitcoin. When the dollar topped out, we saw Bitcoin rip, and vice versa. When we saw the dollar bottom out, we can potentially see Bitcoin pull back. That's the entire point I'm trying to make without all of this fucking... There we go. Okay, back to normal. After you select compare, type it, then click it. Okay, I'll figure it out after the stream, guys. Thank you, though. But basically what I'm saying is the dollar's on support here, right? So if this falls, Bitcoin's going to fly. If this holds briefly and gives us a little bit of relief, Bitcoin is going to pull back, okay? Now we'll go back to charting Monero. So Monero kind of looks like shit. We are coming into support here on the monthly, so this is something I would watch. Zooming in on the weekly, maybe even lower to the 3-day chart. There's nothing really here yet that's telling me to be super interested. If you're bottom fishing, sure. But if you're looking at Monero versus a lot of other altcoins, right, you're not seeing the same type of reaction. Monero. You're not really seeing the same type of reaction. Now, if you look at Monero versus, you know, XMR, ETH, right, versus like XMR, LTC. Okay, that didn't work for some reason. XMR-LTC. There you go. Right? So you can see that it's actually performing okay relative to these coins, but relative to Bitcoin, you know, it's not doing so hot. So you want to see some sort of bullishness start to appear here on a little bit higher time frames, right? So if I'm looking at Monero here, I'm just not quite seeing the bounce yet. This could be promising. You know, this would be kind of the level of interest for me on Monero is right here. So if it can reclaim this level here, this is a lot of empty space up into here. Okay, so into monthly support for now. Want to see it reclaim here to get up into here. But nothing for me yet on Monero. The BTC pair, it looks like, you know, relative to FBTC, relative to LTC BTC, it's underperforming a little bit. If you want to look at the dollar pair, damn. So this is actually held up surprisingly well and run pretty nicely. But again, this goes back to my point about why you got to pay attention to the Bitcoin pair. If you own Monero and you bought it with Tether, you've done pretty well so far in the last couple of months. But if you traded that Monero for Bitcoin, you bought it with Bitcoin, you would have been better off holding Bitcoin. That's the key difference between the USD pair and the BTC pair, right? So you would have been better off holding Bitcoin than trading that Bitcoin for Monero over the recent weeks and months. If you're just straight up trading the USD pair, it's done pretty well, right? Since the COVID bottom, it's up big. But if you're trading it for BTC, you would have been better off holding the BTC pair. I don't know if this is all-time high or if this is just the all-time high on this chart. But as you can see, this is obviously a key level. But one thing that worries me is this that's forming right here. So this is a potential bearish order block on the weekly. If I go to the 3-day, I get a little bit more detail. So the 3-day actually, to me, looks like it's slightly starting to turn down, right? So if I'm looking at the daily even, I think I'll get even more clarity. So this is my concern with Monero right here, okay? This is must hold support because right now you have a high, a low, you have a lower high, you have a lower low. So this is the high to me that's relevant. I mean, I guess you could say, okay, well, we broke market structure here, potentially bullish, but this is a relevant high to me. And what I'm watching for on this is basically this move up, right, is capping price, okay? This move up here is capping price. If we cannot reclaim this area here, okay, what I think is going to happen is we will make a lower low down into this area here. Okay, so this is kind of a critical area for Monero. I think you could watch this level here. Okay, that would be an area of interest. You could also say it's this, I guess. Same thing, right? It's got to get above this. It's got to get above this area here. Otherwise, to me, right, this is the order block that drove us down here. This is a retest of the order block, and we're actually going to continue down to here. So be cautious on this one. The USD pair, that is, if we flip this kind of 128 to 130 area, I think it will continue higher. But for now, I would be slightly cautious. There's potential opportunity that it comes back to the low 90s. XLM and Algo. Again, so what's positive about this, I guess, is we basically have run the lows here. All these lows have now been swept, right? And now we kind of look like we're potentially reclaiming this area. So what do I like? I like order blocks that form near key levels. So there's a key level there for me. There's a little breaker block, right? This is kind of the last juice that made this low, right? So what I want to now see on this type of a chart is something like this start to form, right? Okay, it could come down into this, could come deeper, right? But I want to see basically a higher low form somewhere here, okay? And then I want to see us attack this level here. Okay, that would be kind of what I see on XLM. So swept all these lows, right? All these lows are rinsed now. But again, right, how many times have we seen, a little bit of bullishness here, right? A little bit of bullishness and then completely retrace. So these things still, you want to play them level to level because they're in downtrend until convincingly proved otherwise. So what I'd want to see here is this low hold, right? Some sort of higher low form in this area. And then I would like to see potential continuation up into this kind of 650 area would be what I'd be watching on XLM. XLM, USDT. This looks not great. Maybe potentially starting to form a little bit of an uptrend here, right? But want to see basically it clear this level here. So we've came up, we've spiked into here, right? You can kind of see it's confluent with this area here. This is going to be a key area for this, because if this fully retraces this dump, that's not super bullish, I guess, unless it holds here, right? So you've got all these previous highs here, order block here, previous highs, resistance. So now this needs to be a flip. So if this is bullish, right, or just can continue up from here, but if this is bearish, right, and this is basically a lower high, right, we could see a lower low here. So you got to be careful. Again, pump another altcoin that while it pumped and it's looked good, it's pumped into resistance and it still hasn't taken out a significant market structure high, right? Like if you look at LTC USD, the reason this looks better than other coins, right, is it's broken a key high here. This is like, you know, obviously looks good. We got low, high, higher low. We've now got a higher high. But again, right, this is a very key area here for LTC. You know, kind of right here. I'd say $88 right there. I know this is a huge box, but the levels of interest, right, are here and here, okay? This $88 level seems super key. So as much as this is bullish, we've broken high, right? This is great. Now I want to see a higher low. And a higher low can be much lower than you think, right? It could come back into here. I'm not saying it's going to, but I actually don't hate this kind of an area as a buy, right? There's just a lot of coins that look better than coins like Monero and XLM and shit right now. So this is this looks okay. Again, pumping into resistance. So let's see if we can kind of form a higher low. If it's super bullish, right, the higher low will be shallow. But if it can clear 88, I think we can see over 100. But not yet. Pumping into resistance for now. XRP. Right, so XRP is always a tricky one, right? Because it usually looks like absolute dog shit, right? And then it pumps out of nowhere, giving you almost no time to get on board. So, you know, this is a complete dog shit chart. We've come all the way down into this like last down candle, right? That caused this entire move. Boom, boom, boom. But so just be aware, right? We've done this before, right? And then traded down. And then traded down. So as much as this looks good, I want to see market structure. So looks okay here. We've traded into demand, right? Now what I want to see, right, is a higher low form on this. So where is that going to be? I don't really see much support in here that it's built up. I mean, maybe right here, I guess, is an order block. I guess you kind of want to watch this on XRP, is like kind of this little area here, this little congestion, right? So if it's a shallow retrace, right, that would be good. Take out this high. Now we've got a low, a high, and a higher low, right? But again, if Bitcoin eats a dick, this can pull back pretty hard. So something to be aware of, right? This to me, and if it makes a higher low here, right, and then reclaims this, that would be super bullish on XRP. But the Bitcoin pair, right, this is a nice little move up. Again, we're not really breaking any key market structure levels yet. But, you know, this is probably one of the more bullish moves we've seen in a long time. So definitely pay attention, but I wouldn't be surprised if a large part of this retraces before it continues. You know, this has been a nuts move as well. All right, this is, you know, to me, this is a significant move for sure, right? We look at the 3-day chart. We've taken out multiple levels of market structure. These are all lower highs here with lower lows. And we've now cleared all of those. So we've cleared all of those levels out, which is a good look. I think this is kind of your area of interest on XRP, excuse me. It's right here. Okay, so I'm just going to mark those levels. So about 40 to 50 cent range, right, is key. The nice thing about this is it hasn't fully retraced yet, but XRP does have a habit of doing these, right? You know, retracing pumps rather quick. You know, so again, be aware that this could pull back hard, but it's pumped into resistance. It's taken out a bunch of market structure, right? This is, to me, the start of a bullish trend, right? What's the difference between this pump and previous pumps? This is a low. This is not a higher high, right? This never broke higher, and then it made a lower low after, right? Same with like this. So this is a low. Maybe it made a higher high here, right? But then it faded and it came right back to the low, and then I may have just sat here for ages. The nice thing that I like about this is it's taken out all of these highs. Okay, so that is a bullish sign in my opinion. Now it's, okay, this is a key area above 50 cents. I think, you know, that's when you get your fucking moon bag on to like, we're going to 589, we're going way higher. But for now, I would not be surprised if we see some sort of pullback on here. And again, this can pull back way deeper than you think, right? I'm not saying we come back to 25 cents, right? Which would be, you know, cutting it in value by half, right? But I mean, this already pulled back 15 cents just yesterday after pumping 40. So anything's possible. You know, if we get some sort of retest of this consolidation here, so 30 cents and below, I would buy XRP USD. I'm not interested in buying it here. I'd rather buy it on a reclaim of this level or a deep correction down into this area. My lips are so dry right now. I'm sorry. Keep licking them. All right, Neo. I'm getting hungry. Oops. Again, you know, really fucking just shitty looking chart. I can't talk. I owned EOS for way too long. I don't own EOS anymore, so I can just see real quick. Yeah. I don't own EOS anymore. I'm sitting on the sidelines for now, so I'll stop shilling it. So, I mean, listen, this is kind of your key area that I'm watching. You know, we've roasted all of these lows now. You know, it's got to form some bullish price action here. I don't see it yet, you know. Again, this is kind of like that XLM one. It's like this might be the start of something, but relative to a lot of other alts, this looks like it's underperformed. I would want to see us get above this area here before I start getting excited about this one. Too early to get excited right now. Sorry guys, one sec here. Okay. Yeah, so I want to see some sort of bullish PA here form. I don't think that's happened yet. So again, you know, get above here, then we're talking. It is into support. You know, in this kind of, this consolidation, I would consider support. It's ripped all these lows. So a bottom could form here, but nothing is signified to me here yet that this has formed a bottom. You know, again, another one that's pumped into resistance, right? So let's see what happens. Needs to clear this area. If it can clear this area, it's got some upside towards 20, but you know, there's better coins out there. Okay. If we're in a monthly uptrend, why look for a big pullback before even a daily downtrend forms? That's a good question. So normally I trade on market structure, right? So what I want to see on, you know, to me, there's no, the daily support is here. Okay, so this is still super bullish. But if we lose this low, lose this level, I think we pull back much harder, right? So it's not, it's still above, well above daily support. There's no sign of a low time frame downtrend yet. the H4 is what would flip first, right? So if we see some sort of breakdown from here, okay, that's going to give me a sign that we're going to here, and then I want to see how we react here, bullishly or bearishly, right? But I'm not shorting necessarily. I'm just hedging because I think this move's overextended. Another thing to pay attention to, right, is look at this consolidation here, then a big move. Look at this consolidation here, then a big move. This is a tiny little consolidation, then a move. So the consolidations are getting shorter. Generally that happens when we're starting to form a top. A good example of that is here, right? So we have this run to 10K. Why does this look like fucking shit? So huge consolidation, big move, consolidate, big move, consolidate, big move, consolidation, start getting smaller and smaller, and then the top forms, right? I'm just banking on, this is very vertical price action that we're seeing here. Very vertical. Eventually I'm expecting a correction, right? But I'm hoping for something like this, not for something like that. So that's all I'm banking on. But yeah, I'm getting in early because we have not broken down. There's no sign of a breakdown yet. So you are correct with that. That's a sale. The dollar is dead. Use the log chart. Compare. Someone DM me and help me figure this out. Because I'm retarded, obviously. My man, right click on the Dixie orange line, pin to scale. No scale, full screen. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time because I feel really stupid. Aha! This is the man. See, Philip Zulmowski understands Trader Main. He understands Trader Main is 30 and is retarded or autistic or whatever politically correct term you would like to use. So if we look here, the correlation is very clear, right? Okay. Huge downtrend, huge uptrend. No different than here, right? When the dollar bottomed, we started a bear market. And then the dollar was uptrending, Bitcoin was downtrending, right? So the correlation has always been real. People have always been like, man, there's no correlation. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what you're talking about. So to me, all I'm seeing, I'm not expecting this to go like this. This is a downtrend to me. What I am expecting though is maybe this. And if that happens, that might give us that little bit of a dip that I'm waiting for. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you so much for showing me how to do that. Okay. Oh no, my vape's dead. What will I do? Okay, can I check Link? Sure. Something that's interesting about Link. Link. Link has been in an uptrend versus Bitcoin for essentially 2 years. Maybe even longer. October 2017, November. So for basically 3 years, Link has been in an uptrend versus Bitcoin. Okay? Which most alts have not. Most alts have been in a downtrend. So as much as I like Link and I think Link can go higher and there's like Cryptopathic is super bull Link and shit, the one thing I wonder is maybe this cycle's over. This kind of looks like the Bitcoin, move to 20K, and this looks like the 6K floor to me. So I think Link might, I'm not saying this for sure, but I'm thinking Link might actually be a good hedge against altcoin upside exposure in terms of this actually being bearish. Because as much as this has been in a bull trend for 3 years against Bitcoin, and I wouldn't be surprised now if kind of the trend shifts and we see Link actually trade further down where other altcoins might see some strength, right? This kind of looks like a top to me. I don't know. I'm not saying it's done, right? It's still holding support here. Okay, so there's key support. We ran those lows. Looking at this, want to see some bullishness here, right? So we're kind of seeing it. Low, higher high, higher low. Need to see this move up and clear out this area. If we can start trading above this consolidation, right, then I'll be bullish on Link. But right now, it's kind of giving me toppy vibes, right? We're kind of like, okay, we've got one bounce here, another bounce, right? Now we made a lower low, a weaker bounce. So this is kind of giving me toppy vibes. I don't know. This might cycle opposite because it already has been. This has been in an uptrend for the last 3 years. Most alts have been in a downtrend. So maybe now that some of those other alts are going to be in an uptrend, Link might be in a downtrend. I don't know. Just a thought. Don't kill me, Link Marines. Again, right? This looks like 20K, 17K on Bitcoin, right? So we'll see. But this just doesn't look that strong to me, you know, and its most recent pump, right, is right into resistance. I could absolutely be wrong on this. I think it's very easy and clear bias levels. I just showed you them on the Bitcoin pair. We start trading over 1650 on Link, and I'll join the Link Marine crew to $20. But for now, this is like a perfect sell to me on Link. Right where it is right now. This looks like a potential area that this tops out. I could be wrong. Don't fucking attack me. Use case is blowing up on Monero. I have no idea what Monero does. I don't care. All right. Julio, not gonna ask Badao tonight, my man. We love you, Julio. We do. Okay, just a blip in the chart. What up, homie? Max, Rod Boza. Okay, so all right, we'll do a couple more here. We're getting towards like an hour and 20 minutes here, and I'm fucking hungry. I'm trying to bulk right now. I haven't even taken my creatine today. I'm withering away as we speak. Okay, I'm gonna do Algo. I'm gonna do Polkadot. I'm gonna do Waves. I will do YeFi, and I will do Cardano, and that's it. All right, no more requests, please. Because I need to eat. Your boy's hungry. Okay, so what did I say I'd start with? Algo. If you own this coin, I feel sorry for you. I have no idea what this coin does, but I can tell you that this chart looks like absolute dog shit on all high time frames. Okay, this looks like ass. I don't know when you bought this, but if you bought it any time in the last year, you're probably down. Actually, you are down. If you bought it any time, except for within the last like 4 days, you're losing money. So this is the only area that I see of interest here, right? So if we can flip this, right? Again, it could be turning bullish on the low time frame, potentially here, right? But what I want to see is very simply, I want to see us get above this gray block. We get a 3-day close through this gray block, we will go to here. And that's a nice little move, okay? It's a nice 40% move. That could happen, but we need to get through that area. Right now, this looks like fucking garbage. So I wouldn't touch this personally. I would need to see it get above this, right? There's your line in the sand. Then it trades up into here. Then it trades up into here, right? But need to see it get above, right? So this is a nice little range you've got here. Deviate the range low. If it can regain the range high, long it into there, long it into there. Okay? And you can even zoom in more. Right? And we can, I'm going to just do this real quick. Okay, you can treat it as like a true range trade here. There's your deviation, retest the range low. Okay, this would be a more aggressive entry here at the range EQ, but then you've got a profit take here, right? Then potential more upside. But for now, nothing yet. Potentially starting to put in a bottom, right? If this is your Wyckoff chart, this would be potentially your spring. But I'm not touching this one yet. I want to see it get a little more bullish. Polkadot. polka dot. All right, polka dot BTC. Can I not trade polka dot versus BTC? Okay. Is that right? Okay. So dot BTC. So this is right. 0.3022. Okay. The Huboy chart looks like shit. Okay, so again, right? Came right into demand here. Nice bounce into resistance. Okay, so need to clear that little area there, and then we'll probably go here. I understand that there's like a lot of bullish fundamentals for this one. I know I've seen some people who know about that stuff tweeting about it. I don't know anything about that. This is just purely a technical view. You know, I think I like, I don't hate it, right? So what I like is we actually closed through here. So if you get a pullback down here, I think you buy it up into here, or if it just kind of continues up, right? I think you can get bullish above these two levels here. So starting to form, right? A potential bottom, close through here. It's made a higher high now. So now I want to see a higher low form, and you could get involved. So I don't think this one looks as bad as some of the other ones, right? Looking at the H4, you can see an uptrend has now been formed, right? Higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high. So you just want to see a continuation of this. Maybe it does one of these and then continues. But yeah, don't actually hate this one. All right, waves. You guys trade the wildest shit. Oh, okay. Damn. So this looks fucking better than almost every altcoin you guys have made me look at so far. Right, so if I'm just looking at just the monthly, okay, just the monthly, this is a huge breakout in my opinion. So any sort of pullback into here is a bigly long on this thing, okay? Super bullish. This looks super good, right? This is what I want to see on an altcoin forming a bottom. I want to see the bottom form, and I want to see a nice break in market structure. Now let me get long. If that happens, if you get any sort of pullback into there, I think you long the shit out of it. You know, and I think that lines up well as well on the weekly, right? Maybe we come a little bit lower with a wick, but I think if we come back and test this gray, you know, there's a lot of room up into that. I'm always so, you know, confident that I'm going to draw a straight line. I'm like, oh yeah, I can draw a straight line from here to here. It's like I got fucking Parkinson's, Jesus. Yeah, so this actually looks pretty good. I would say buy the dip. This looks like a nice little bottom that's formed here, okay? Clear breakout, nice little pullback, continuation, higher high. Maybe this goes a little higher, but I think if you get an opportunity to get long in here, I think you do it. YeFi. Look at that. So I think I charted this in a couple streams ago, and look what I did. I pointed an arrow here, higher low, continue up, and look what's happening here. So give me my clout, please. Because that's exactly what happened, right? I said we're in resistance. I think we come back, test here, right? And boom, it looks like just a wick, right? But this is the daily chart. H4 came back, retested what? An H4 order block. If I pull my fib, probably a 50% retracement, I'd say. No, that's actually right in the OTE as well. Boom, right into the 6-2, bullish order block, all that shit lined up. That would have been a nice little buy the dip. I don't remember drawing that, but obviously that was my thoughts on this. So I like the reaction. Comes into the level of interest, closes way above it. So now what I want to see happen is us trade above this level here. Once we get above 1.63380 essentially, I think we're going to see a nice move up on this into here. into the 2 range, which would be 2 Yi-Fi for 1 Bitcoin, I guess. Again, all of these get smoked if Bitcoin crashes, by the way. But, right, this is a nice little trend. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Looks okay. So yeah, the concern here on the dollar pair is just the rejection from here so far. Right, that's a pretty serious rejection. Looks kind of like a rounded top there. I might want to try and get this one a little lower. So very simple for me here. Comes down here, I would look to long it here. Gets above here, I would look to long it up into this. Right, so you're either breakout long here to 36, or you wait for a deeper pullback and then you long it back to 28 and then beyond. But yeah, I think rounded rejection here. Let me see what it does, you know, on the lower time frame. Is it holding support? Things like that. I'm looking at the lower time frame here. Right, it is holding support for now. So what you want to see on the low time frame, right? If you want the breakout long, this low has to hold, right? Your breakout long are above the high. Right? If it loses this low, we're going to see that deeper pullback into this area that I had marked. But holding support for now, so it looks okay. All right, oatmeal with protein and nuts, frozen berries is a bulk mega meal. Bruh, you look like the rapper Logic. I get that all the time. I have these little glasses that I wear as well, and whenever I wear them, people think I look like Logic. You're the best, Trade Main. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to sign off, guys. Hour and a half here, long ass video. I will do another stream sometime this week, so I'm sorry if I didn't get you charts. I know there's a few more of you here. These videos initially were only supposed to be 30 minutes, and they always end up being over an hour. I love doing it though, so I'm not complaining. But gonna go eat some dinner. So if I didn't get you your chart, okay, I'll do one more. I'll do Cardano, and then I'm done. I said I was going to do Cardano. I did. I said that was the last one. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. So, like the GOAT that I am, I had this level on Cardano as the retest level. So why? So I actually was super bullish Cardano down here. I don't know if you guys remember. You can go back on Twitter. I was talking about this range on Cardano for the bottom to form, right? And then we broke out of this range. Look at how well this range is played, right? Complete bottom forming. We moved out, came back, retested the EQ, and then we left. And then the level I have of interest here, right, comes from, I believe, the weekly. And this is a really nice look. See, it's just the top of that order block right there. So if I mark this, right? You can see huge breakout, right? But perfect retest of this level, and I'm loving the reaction so far. So the fact that we've now come all the way back down here, nice deep retrace. We've run that, we've hit this level twice, right? Boom, move up, but ran that low time frame. That's gonna look good. This is now kind of your next boss, is this area right here. Okay, once we get through this resistance, this is gonna fucking fly. So if I zoom in a little bit on the daily, right, there's your range low, deviate outside of the range, coming into resistance. There I can refine my level. There's your daily order block of interest right here. You can see we just came into the order block there, barely. So now I'm looking like this. This is what I see on Cardano right now. I see this, hold this consolidation here, boom, something like that would be what I would be looking at. And then above here, we go absolutely bonkers. So that's something that I'm looking at on Cardano here. Let's look at the USDT pair. This actually looks, this is sick, right? So this is looking good. You know, ran the low. God, again, just this overzealousness with my ability to draw lines. Ran the low. We're coming up into some resistance here. Rejected. Now we're closing through. This looks super good, right? Came back. This is the monthly chart. Came back, retested this perfectly. Zoom in a little bit here, right? Essentially, we're struggling here. We're struggling at this high. So we could see some sort of pullback here. The deepest I would want to really see this go is back into here. So if we get a pullback back into here and then continuation, I think that looks pretty good. Alternatively, if we stay here and we just consolidate, I think we rip from here. So Cardano looks actually really good, and I'm looking to take it into probably 20 cents. Whether it holds here and moves up or pulls back, I'm thinking 20 cents. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So yeah, I will be back at some point this week with another stream. So if I didn't answer your questions or anything like that, I'll be back this week with another video. I hope you guys enjoy these. I really like doing them. Leave me a like, give it a retweet, show me some love, show Prime some love, please. They're the ones helping me out here. Sign up with that link in the description, get some free money. Yeah, peep the wisdom. Love to see people doing well with EBITDA. Thanks, Cortland Taylor, fellow ICTer. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.